Okay, let's unpack this. Imagine you're maybe hiking for a few days, somewhere pretty remote, or maybe you're just in a city, right? But the hotel room, well, it doesn't have a kitchen. And the challenge is always, how do you eat well, affordably, and, stick to your own dietary needs? What if there was a simple tool, kind of surprising really, that lets you just whip up a hot meal, personalized, anywhere you can find a plug socket? Today, we're taking a deep dive into something that people are calling the travel cooking pot. Sometimes it's called a quick boil pot. It's basically this portable electric cooking thing. And it's been getting, well, some serious buzz online. You see it on places like Reddit and Dcard, which is really popular over in Asia.
Yeah, and what's fascinating here is how something so straightforward tackles such a basic need. You
Wow.
know, that need for comfort, for a bit of control when you're far from home. Our sources for this deep dive include quite a few detailed guides, product reviews, but also lots of personal stories from travelers. And they all seem to highlight just how practical these pots are, the advantages, some maybe unexpected ones too.
Right. So, our mission today is to explore exactly what makes these travel pots, for many people anyway, a worth every penny investment. Is it just hype? We'll look at the main benefits, dig into the different kinds you can get, and hopefully help you figure out if this kind of versatile tool could be, well, a game changer for your own trips, or maybe even just for making life a bit easier day to day. It's funny, for something that looks pretty unassuming, this little pot is often called the MVP, the best bit of travel gear people own. And why? Well, our sources keep coming back to this idea. The biggest plus isn't just cooking, it's liberation. Think
Mhm.
about it. You're in a country, maybe eating out is super expensive, or you just can't find food that works for you, maybe allergies or something.
Mm.
This pot kind of frees you from that constant hunt for restaurants or, lugging around bulky gas stoves if you're camping or hiking.
Exactly. It makes those unfamiliar places feel a bit more manageable.
Right.
And the core appeal, you really see this in the traveler accounts. It boils down to maybe six key benefits. Things that directly tackle common travel problems. They're designed to be easy to use pretty much anywhere. And often they have important safety things built in, like automatic shutoff if they overheat.
Okay, so the first one sounds huge, dual voltage design. Now, for people listening who might not be totally clear on that, what does dual voltage really mean when you're actually using it? And why is that such a big deal for traveling internationally?
That is a crucial point. Absolutely crucial. And it's where these pots really, prove their worth globally.
Hmm.
Dual voltage basically means the pot is smart enough to adapt itself to different electrical currents around the world. So, for example, it can switch automatically from the 110, 120 volts you find in, say, North America or parts of South America
Yeah.
to the 220, 240 volts. That's standard in most of Europe, Asia, Australia,
Mm.
pretty much everywhere else. What that means for you, the traveler, is you don't need those bulky, sometimes unreliable voltage converters.
Yeah, right.
Your pot just works
Safely.
effectively,
Right.
whether you plug it in London or Tokyo or, back home at a campsite.
That really does take away a major headache, doesn't it? And that portability, that ease, leads right into another big advantage people talk about.
Mhm.
It's plug and play simplicity, no gas canisters, no open flames, just find a regular power outlet. How does that make cooking on the go more, well, convenient and versatile?
Well, think about the mental energy you save, just the headspace. You're not stressing about finding the right kind of gas canister in some town you don't know,
Right.
or worrying about, setting off a smoke alarm with an open flame in a tiny hotel room or inside a tent. It's more than just cooking convenience. It's removing a real safety and logistical worry.
Mm.
And because they're often really lightweight, compact,
Mm-hmm.
some even fold down flat,
Mm-hmm.
it means you can genuinely whip up, noodles and eggs, maybe some soup, steam some vegetables,
Mm-hmm.
wherever you are. Could be an office break room, that small hotel room, even, deep in the backcountry if there's a power source nearby, like at some campsites.
That versatility really does sound appealing. And our sources also highlight, maybe surprisingly, just how functional they are. Lots of models aren't just for boiling water. They can fry, boil properly, steam. It's like a mini kitchen, not just a kettle.
Exactly. And what's compelling there is how that versatility pairs up with efficiency. You see feedback again and again about how quickly these pots heat up. Saves you time, saves energy, which matters when you're traveling.
Yeah.
Plus, they're generally designed to be easy to clean, which is huge. Less need for lots of extra utensils, less scrubbing when all you want to do is relax or get back out exploring.
But maybe the benefit that hits home the hardest, and I know a lot of our listeners will connect with this, is the personalized dietary control. For someone dealing with, say, severe allergies or really strict dietary preferences, maybe trying to eat healthy on the road, how does having this pot completely change the game for travel meals?
Oh, it's a fundamental shift.
Hmm.
Absolutely. A traveler with, let's say, a severe nut allergy or celiac disease needing gluten-free, or maybe following a strict vegan diet, they often face this constant low-level anxiety when eating out somewhere unfamiliar. It's like navigating a minefield.
Yeah, I can imagine.
This pot isn't just about, oh, this is convenient. It's about taking back control, culinary self-reliance. It transforms that mealtime worry into, well, a moment of calm. You know what's going into your food. It's the difference between constantly asking, is this safe for me? And knowing, yes, I can eat well, right here,
Yeah.
exactly what I need.
Uh-huh.
That ability to manage your risks, stick to your diet with confidence, that's incredibly empowering for a lot of people.
That is a really powerful point. Okay, so we got all these practical benefits. It makes you wonder if you're thinking about getting one, what are the different kinds out there? How do you choose the right travel cooking pot for what you need? Our sources mainly talk about two main types based on what the inside, the liner, is made of: the nonstick coating pot and the silicone liner pot.
Right. Let's start with the nonstick coating type. The pros here are pretty clear, right? They're generally easier to clean because food doesn't stick as much.
Mm.
They tend to heat up nice and evenly, which is good for consistent cooking. And they're usually better suited for things that need a bit more heat, like frying or sautéing.
Okay.
People often mention the HY2i electric cooker as a solid example in this group. The coating itself, it might be ceramic based or maybe PTFE like
Mhm.
Teflon, but the point is food slides off easily, makes cleanup much simpler, even if you don't have much water available.
Got it. And then the other main type you mentioned is the silicone liner pot. What's the story there? What are the advantages and maybe disadvantages?
So, the silicone liner models, their big selling point is often flexibility and weight. They're incredibly light, and many of them can actually be folded or collapsed down really small. It's a huge bonus if you're trying to pack light, like for backpacking.
Ah, yeah.
They're made from food-grade silicone. That's a very stable, non-toxic material, stands up to heat well. It offers a kind of natural non-stick quality, too, without needing those chemical coatings. Now, they conduct heat okay and hold it reasonably well, but they're generally better for, say, boiling water, making soups, things that use low to medium heat. You probably wouldn't choose one if your main goal is high heat frying. The Drizzle foldable electric cooker is one example people mention of this type.
Okay, that makes sense. So, beyond just the liner material, nonstick versus silicone, our sources also had some pretty strong advice about choosing one. They really hammered home the idea of picking a well-known brand. Why is that so important for something like a travel pot? I mean, safety and reliability must be key if you're cooking with it, right?
Well,
Absolutely critical, yeah. With anything that involves electricity in food, you really don't want to cut corners on safety or reliability. Established, well-known brands usually have to meet stricter manufacturing standards. They tend to offer better warranties, actual customer support if something goes wrong.
right.
It really boils down to peace of mind. You want to trust the thing you're plugging in and cooking with, especially when you're far from home. And actually, another point that came up quite a bit in our sources: people often recommended models made from stainless steel or ceramic. Even if they don't have that specific nonstick coating, people like them for their durability, sometimes the look, and just feeling like a good long-term value. So what does this all mean? Wrapping things up for you, our listener. We've explored how a simple travel cooking pot can, maybe surprisingly, really change your travel experience.
Right.
It offers that incredible portability, the true dual voltage compatibility so you can use it almost anywhere in the world, and fundamentally the power to cook your own meals, whether that's just, a comforting bowl of instant noodles with an egg or maybe some fresh, healthy, sautéed vegetables. Anywhere you've got access to power.
Yeah, and if we connect this to the bigger picture, it really is about reclaiming that personal control.
Mm-hmm.
Control over what you eat, control over your comfort, no matter where you find yourself.
Mhm.
Whether you end up choosing, say, a durable nonstick pot because you want that even heat and the option to fry things,
Mm.
or maybe you go for one of those super flexible silicone liners because you need it to be ultra light and foldable.
Mm-hmm.
That basic ability to just plug and play makes a significant difference. It simplifies things.
Mhm.
And like we said, remembering to choose a reputable brand, maybe looking at those sturdy stainless steel or ceramic options, that just reinforces the safety and reliability aspect. It adds to that feeling of being self-sufficient.
But beyond just the practical stuff, here's where it gets really interesting, I think. Think about the actual, joy or maybe just the relief of being able to easily make that perfect bowl of noodles or a fresh meal you actually want to eat, even if you're stuck in a tiny hotel room or out at a campsite. This goes way beyond just being another kitchen gadget, doesn't it?
Definitely.
It taps into something deeper, like the freedom and the real peace of mind that comes from knowing you can take care of yourself, be self sufficient on your adventures. And it makes you wonder, it raises an important question for all of us, really. How else can simple, adaptable tools like this empower you, empower us to live more comfortably, more confidently? How can they help turn unfamiliar surroundings into spaces that feel a bit more like your own personalized space, one perfectly cooked meal at a time?